kick this off. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Aetheryte Radio, Gamerscape's Final Fantasy XIV podcast, celebrating 5 years.
Ow, ow!
Oh,
my hip! I'm so old.
I was say, like, wouldn't we be starting school, like, at some point, you know, with pre-K or something like that?
Yeah, it's 5 years. We started podcasting before the game was even out. So that means with it, we're older. We're older than both versions of Final Fantasy XIV.
Whether that's good or bad.
Brings a whole new meaning to legacy.
Yeah. Joining us today, we have Michelle.
Yo.
We have Bryn.
Howdy.
And we have joining us from Limit Break Radio and founding member of Aetheryte Radio, if you didn't know that, we have a Nero.
Yay, trivia!
I noticed I'm the only one who has my real name on the outline.
And it's funny because I as I was going through that, I just realized that, I don't know why I did that. Zanidra! Yay! So
Quiz.
So we got a lot of stuff to talk about. There's a lot of anniversary-related, actually, Final Fantasy XIV anniversary-related news to go over. But first, what we want to do for you guys tuning in right now, we do have a little something for you. If you go to gamerscape.com/AR5 and fill out the form, you will be entered to win. We've got a few different prizes. We have posters from PAX last year with the Black Mage key art on it. We've got 2 bundles. We're doing one is a I Beat Titan shirt and a bag from PAX last year, and then we have an I Beat Leviathan shirt with an E3 bag from this year. Both shirts are XL. That is marked there on the entry form. If you want the shirt to wear it, make sure that you tell us if you can wear it. We don't want to send like the world's smallest person an XL shirt and think that they'll want to wear it. And it looks like our special guest number 2 just showed up after I sent her a message to just tell her to hop in. She's like, "What do I do? Do I just jump in?" Give her a minute here.
The suspense.
Right.
Who is it? Who could it be?
Hey. Maybe. Unmute your mic. Or something. Some such phrase.
Wave your hands in the air.
Yeah. Oh, I heard a sound.
Yay!
Speakers.
Oh, my speakers?
Yeah.
No way, my speakers are off, man.
I'm hearing an echo. I'm hearing myself.
Well, you're on my headset.
Well, turn your headset down or something, because you're like blaring the volume or something.
You're out of control. Is that any better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
You're like lowering your voice,
I still hear
hoping that it won't echo.
That's better, right?
We'll talk like this for the whole show.
No, I don't know why. It's just the one headset. Let me move the microphone thingy back or
Maybe
something.
that's what it is, yeah. It's too
Any
close
better?
to the... Hello?
Hello?
I think we're good.
You sound kind of funny now, though.
Joining us
Welcome.
now, like
For
3
sound check.
minutes- Yeah, right as we start the show, like now you come back. I'm like, great timing.
Sorry.
It's all not your fault.
Babysitting. God.
Brian's dealing with babies. Everybody's dealing with babies.
Yeah, it's an anniversary.
Nope.
We've,
She's like got her hands up. She's like, I'm done. I'm out of here. So joining us now is Chinchilla.
Yay.
Who's also part of Aetheryte Radio back in the day. She was
Word.
also on the very first episode. Yeah, both. It was me, Nero, and Chinchilla on the very first episode.
Yeah,
Is it
that's
real?
right.
Back in like 2009.
2009. Y'all did a really good show.
Back
I
when we
remember
called
listening
it
to
like
yeah.
Orzea. 'Cause we didn't like know like how to say things and
Oh yeah.
doggies.
Oh, that's pretty much it. That was pretty much it for back in the day. We don't know what we're talking about. I mean, it was all and y'all. I mean, we didn't have really anything to go off of. But it was still amazing. They announced it and how it was so.
Yeah, the game hadn't launched, right? Or
Yeah.
it had.
The
No,
first
they just announced it at E3, and so
And we're like, oh my god!
they announced it at E3, and that was it. It was just like,
Nerd attack.
you're making this. And then our first episode was after the first big like info drop, and it's like, oh man, today we're gonna talk about these cool things called guild leaves. Like,
yeah.
that was like all we had. Like guild leaves, yeah.
Remember the quote where he was like, "Yeah, we're not really going to use experience, and so it's going to be kind of a different system." And everybody was like, "Well, what is that? What does that even mean?" And so then we got SP, which was horrible.
Physical levels, everybody.
Physical levels.
Levels.
Oh God.
And SP, which you hate RNG. That was like the king of it. Like, I have no clue if I'm going to get anything.
We're going to do this thing where, like, if you level too much, you don't get more XP, and you have
and if
to
you
level
heal,
other
you're
things.
screwed.
Yeah, if you're a healer, you're staying at level 1, baby.
You don't actually get any experience for anything ever.
Or 1.0, man. Or 1.0.
Gosh, and then no auto attack, right? So like you're about to fight somebody, and you're like, "Hey guys, I'm going to go fight for a while. I'm not going to be talking because if I take my hands off of fighting, I'm going to die."
Why isn't this guy attacking? Oh, he's saving up all 3 charges so that he has a higher attack and accuracy.
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that.
I remember when they introduced the beta, and they're like, "Check this out. We have like a brand new menu, and we have this thing called like a stamina bar."
Oh, man.
And all it was is people would burn through it right at the beginning, and if the monster lived, it was like, now we're gonna sit here and just get beat on for a while.
Yeah, you're like 1.
Yeah, and I remember like people were saying when they were bringing in, with talking about like, oh, the game 2.0 is just gonna be like 1.1.1.1. It's like, I have never had the 1.1.1 moment in 2.0. That was the 1.0 until I mean, now fair enough. Like 1.0 is kind of weird to talk about because they really did so much, and by the end of it, by 1.23, I mean the battle system was completely different.
It was what you might call playable.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. The key thing is you could play the game.
Mm-hmm.
What were those things called that they were kind of like they were battle regiments? Yeah,
I like how
with the buttons, and you had to like turn on the button before you could even do it.
And if somebody didn't do anything, you were frozen.
My favorite part is before they actually removed them. It was after dungeons, and I remember a video up online of somebody doing Zamil Darkhold, and they did a battle regimen on Batraul because like people kind of like forgot about him, and they just like kicked his ass with this thing. Like it just wiped him out. Everyone's like, wow, we should probably start doing battle regimen again, and then they just like removed it.
Yep,
like,
it's gone.
Like now we're good.
You remember?
You guys figured it out after 2 years. We're gonna
added the dungeons.
We forgot it was there too.
Yeah,
so.
but they added the dungeons, and then if you got disconnected for any reason from the dungeon, you couldn't get back in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man,
so bad.
Well,
Ryoku makes a good point in the chat here. Remember when you got buffs to your Marauder if you didn't move?
Yeah, if you stood still.
Yes.
I don't remember that.
That'd be like the best thing for like Titan, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just stand there and
just stand there and get your buff.
But guys, my attack is increasing by 5%.
Yeah, but the dungeon's back to the point, like even still, like you couldn't get back in, etc. I mean, that was like the first, like, oh my gosh, there's like content. There's besides these leaves that, remember, because it was at first you could get, what was it, like 8 every 36 hours.
Something
so
crazy.
The game, people would log in every 36 hours, do their 8 leaves, and then go off and do something else for like the rest of the week, for the rest of that time. And then the good change with that came with the allowance system, because that made sense. It was like,
was there a limit on leaves at first?
There was. You could only get 8. And then you could only 8, and that was your crafting, and that was your battle. That was everything.
I just remember doing them constantly and never running out.
Mm.
Oh, that came later. That came later after they allowed you to build up, your leave allowances.
You're right. I remember that.
And the leave allowance thing was revolutionary because it was like, great. I'm going to take a week off of leaves, and then I'm going to come back and be like, I've got so many. Like, and now I'll hit 100. I go, well, I should probably level something with these, and I'll burn through them. And I was like, so I like that approach.
I wasn't even playing when they announced that they were going to add the leave allowances, but I remember logging in the day of the patch just so that when I did start playing again, I would have 99 leave allowances. So I came back like 2 months later or something, you know what I mean? I just burned out a bunch of levels.
That's smart.
Remember when you used to not finish them?
The pugilist had the taunt ability.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You had your your tank mode and your like evasive mode.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Yeah, but monks were beastly because like one action would be like 4 hits.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a bug at the beginning too, right?
The chat logs were so ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, they were.
Remember, like you would have your link shell equipped and you couldn't communicate. You could see them, but you couldn't chat back with them at all. So you could have it was really a novel idea, especially coming from 11, where it was like, oh great, you can have more than one link shell and you can kind of see what's going on. But unless you had that equipped, you couldn't actually do anything about it at the beginning. That was so annoying. I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch you talk. I'm not gonna respond.
Remember when you actually had to collect things in order to do primals?
Oh
yes.
yeah,
I still have some of those.
Me too.
I've held on to them in the hopes that at some point they're gonna be like, yeah, we decided to reuse that. Yay! I've already got like
that they didn't take away from us is gonna come back later. Like my husband kept all of his bamboo.
God, I still have some unaspected crystals. I have a couple overaspected crystals. I've got a couple of the pages. I got some of the pages. Yeah. I'm like, I got Dalvin nuts. I got moon nuts.
Blaze nuts, frost nuts.
Yeah. Any kind of nuts you want, I got them right here. You're gonna love my nuts.
Days.
In the theme of it though, the last 5 years have been quite a journey, and even though like they've definitely had those missteps, the fact that we're sitting here laughing about it and still playing the game, I mean, it is a testament to Yoshi P and what he accomplished. By reviving that game, because 14 1.0 was sunk. He brought that one, he brought it back, and then he gave us 2.0, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does.
Yeah, I mean, he pretty much saved the whole company, right? I
yeah.
Mean, look at how it was, an 11 billion yen loss or whatever it was, and now he's on the committee with a couple others about kind of the purity of Final Fantasy, which I think was a good move. I think that's why we haven't heard more about 15. I love that they formed that, and right after they formed that, they were like, we're going to release Final Fantasy VI with shitty graphics for mobile. It's like, you're not really, okay.
You can't really blame them on that, because it's like, that was long, well planned and worked on. Yeah. It's not like they came in.
They've done it with every other Final Fantasy game. I mean, they were doing that sprite refresh going all the way back to the PSP versions of 1 and 2.
Yeah,
but those at least looked better.
I will grant you that they did look better. They looked way better.
But
they're kind of casting a wide net with the graphical sprites and the remakes to the mobile and the handhelds, because I definitely agree that like the PSP versions, they look great, and then the mobile, I like the interface, especially with auto, but it doesn't feel, I don't know. Well, we don't need to talk about that anyway, but
it's like a whole other podcast.
Let me get on my soapbox and be like, come on.
Yeah.
Get some hand-drawn sprites in there,
is the best character ever, and no. So let's actually get into some news. We haven't even gotten into the outline yet.
Who cares?
It's a good tangent.
We just did like 20 minutes of, wow, we're old. Do you remember back in the day?
We are old.
Right? 5 years. Woo!
I was in my 20s. Now I'm not.
Oh, it's so depressing, isn't it?
No, not
gray
really.
hair has multiplied by a factor of 10.
It is.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
The other alternative is not living, so I'm glad to get older. It's just that way. Look at it.
So we'll go back a little bit. It has been about a month here since our last episode. They have a 14-day free trial now. So if anybody's been interested, this is PC only. It's not available on console.
They need to get that to consoles. I think that's it. If they do that, then I think that's going to be awesome. But
I think that'd be good if they were, and I don't know why it's only PC now. If there were, if they ran into limitations doing that or what.
I think it has to do with negotiations with the different console. Okay, it's just Sony right now, so I think it's probably something in regards to that. But we'll see.
We also have the Recruit a Friend campaign. And if you do this, you can get the Friendship Circlet, which will give you a 20% XP bonus if you're under level 25. It'll give you the Aetheryte Pendulum, which will allow you to, if you have a new adventure with the little kind of sprout icon on your friends list, you can teleport to the closest Aetheryte to them.
Just everywhere.
Yeah. And then the Drought Chocobo, which is the first 2-person mount.
And if anybody out there wants to be my friend and
Or
wants to play on Target,
or mine.
No.
I would be opposed to.
it's like I will be happy to be a friend.
I love
And teleport to the nearest
the day that they announced this. There were so many posts on the forums and the subreddit. People like, I'll buy you game time, like if you use my code, and I'm like, this is already like way out of hand. There were people asking for like 90 days, like just for like, hey, like I'll use your code if you like pay for me to play for like 90 days. Like what?
I'm sure some people did it, which is ridiculous.
It wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, day one there were people.
I do like the 2-person chocobo though. A couple of my friends have it, and we'll be doing maps, and I'm like, I don't feel like riding. Jump on the
AFK,
chocobo.
just
Take
go.
Me.
Yeah, I know. We'll get another one too in 2.4 for the what do they end up calling it? The bonding ceremony
Something
or
like
something.
that.
The wedding stuff. Yeah, we'll get another one for that. So that'll be pretty cool. Also, at the end of last month, they had a cafe open in Japan. They have like a Final Fantasy 14 themed Eorzea cafe now. You can like go there and order like Leviathan ramen and like a Titan burger.
Sold.
That's like, if you think about like where this game was a couple years ago, now it's got like 2 million plus subscribers and a cafe. Like,
In Vegas, baby.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And we're
Did they call the burger the weight of the land burger?
I don't actually know what they called it.
I think somebody translated it, and that's what it was, and that's hilarious.
So basically, you'll bite into it and you'll die.
You just like if you're sitting there, the whole floor underneath you just gives out. You just fall to your death.
Ah!
It's very unpleasant.
But if you jump right when you hit the ground, you can survive for just a second longer.
Speaking of FanFest in Vegas, they announced the one in-game item. I don't know if there's going to be more than this, but one in-game item that people attending FanFest are going to get. It is the Moogle attire, because who doesn't love
so jelly
dressing up as a Moogle, right?
Yeah.
And the best part about this is it looks like it might all be separate pieces. So that means for people to get like really annoyed at like people that glamour weird stuff, they're gonna love this. Everybody's gonna be walking around with like a Moogle head. Poor snowman head is about to get replaced, I think, for or the jack-o'-lanterns.
Never.
Yeah.
Oh, I should do that. One of my friends does the horse head because he wasn't around for the jack-o'-lantern, and I should totally do that just to mess with him because he.
There needs to be like a legit horse head.
No.
Like those creepy masks?
The
Yes.
samurai head
Oh,
ones.
Why isn't that a thing yet?
No.
That'd be so horrible.
I always see people running around in that thing in just the bathing suit, and I'm like, you're creepy! No!
Speaking about FanFest, we are going to be there. We're trying to figure out if we want to do any meetups or anything. I think all of us are going to be there except for Chin,
Yeah.
who sadly
I'll
enough has a
be
Vegas
there.
vacation planned like the week before.
Yep.
You can like scout it out for us, Chin.
Okay. Oh yeah. If
Here's the hot spots. You're
If
in
I get
Vegas.
any
Everything's hot.
free dinners or something, I'll just
There you go.
leave them at a front desk.
Just run over to the Rio and just snoop around for us and.
Yeah.
But we'll be there, I think. Nero, who's going from Limit Break Radio?
I am going, and Nika is going, so we will both be out there.
Cool. So we'll definitely we'll figure something out, some kind of meetup or something. We will do our best to figure something out, and we'll let you guys know. So I think the official anniversary for Aetheryte Radio, I think it's like the 18th and 19th. The 1-year anniversary for Realm Reborn is coming up too on the 27th, and they have launched a special 1-year anniversary website with a whole bunch of crap that's going to be going on here soon. The biggest one is probably going to be the 14-hour broadcast that they're doing. They're going to do this on Friday, August 22nd, starting at 8 p.m. Pacific and going into to 10 a.m. the next day. There's going to be appearances by development team members, special guests, and some other stuff. And they're also going to do a live letter during this, which will start at 9 p.m. So make sure to tune in for that if you can. I know it's like overnight. I'm going to see somebody like, I'm not going to sleep tonight. I'm just going to watch people talk in Japanese until 10 in the morning.
Oh, I hate that it's in Japanese.
Yeah. Because, you know, like, they'll show something or they'll bring somebody out and like we're all just gonna be sitting there like that's cool. I don't know what that is, but it looks pretty.
Or
what's that?
or,
What do they
no,
do?
you just have it playing and you like my attention span can't focus on it because I don't know what they're saying, so I just drift into something else.
Right.
And then someone would be like, "Oh, did you just see that?" I'm like, "No." Well, see what?
I was zoned out and I just heard like hi.
Yeah,
I've
that
given
is the
up. I just
majority of it.
look for the screenshots the next morning.
Right. Yeah, I can totally relate to that. Like I remember the first time I interviewed Yoshida and he starts talking in Japanese. I'm like, it feels weird. Like, you know, you always look at the person that's talking, right? But I don't know a single thing he's saying. Just kind of like nod my head.
A dumb grin on your face.
I'm just like, all right, okay, sure.
Glassed over eyes.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, Koji,
like,
help me out here. What do you say?
Please look forward to it. Gotcha.
Yeah. Man, that was like when they announced 2.0. Oh man, I remember they announced 2.0. We're like, oh wow, okay, so this is big news. They released like the one image, and everyone's like, no, it's photoshopped. Like, it's not
and
real.
how close that screenshot was to the final product. You know what I mean? Like it's remarkably similar to what we got. I mean, there are small differences
with the
here and there.
exception of like not having a Korthus with grass.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
The other thing is obviously they didn't have the battle system finalized, so you're like, okay, here's 3,000 TP and you know these different things. So it's like, okay.
Now here's a topic. What is the one thing you miss most from 1.0?
I think it's the danger that used to exist on the maps. Like if there were parts
where you go
parts
into like
of
level
Korthus,
70 boars and shit.
Exactly. Yeah, there were parts of Korthus that I'm not sure anyone ever saw because it was impossible to traverse, the terrain safely. Yeah. And like I've kind of, thought about the upcoming expansion and how it's supposedly focused on Ishgard. And, there's a lot of points where they could open that map back up and bring some of those areas back into play. And if they did, I'd love to see high-level area mobs make a return.
Yeah, I think that would be a brilliant idea. Because that sense of danger. Well, there was that sense of danger, though. Like, let's say you were playing 2.0 from the beginning, and you had a level 1. There were areas that you would go, and you could, be completely destroyed. But really, when you get level 50, and then you're I-100, there's like. You're like, just somebody come fight me, please. Just come on. And so, yeah, you're absolutely right with that. But it would be beneficial, even if those areas weren't, many, and maybe even tackle that in. Because what I would say is that not knocking instance dungeons at all, but I'd like to maybe see some open world dungeons return. That along with those dangers, that would be exciting to where, hey, they can even just have a note. You're entering an area where we're going to throw, we're going to try to kill you. So for players who just stumble on it randomly.
Wasn't one of the 1.0 castrums sort of like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Castrum Novum.
Right.
The only one?
Oh, yeah.
That was the only one, yeah. Back in the day, we only had one castrum. Now we have, like, more than we can keep track of.
7.
I always loved seeing, like, the screenshots, especially of, like, the Black Shroud, right? Because the Black Shroud was just littered with high-level mobs, and they were so hard to get around because of like that maze design. And I remember seeing like, check out this really cool thing I found in the shroud. Oh, cool! Where's that? It's up this path, like past like 7 level like 80 boars. It's like
Nine Knives was a pain to get to. Yes. And then they would send you like, hey, you got this level 5 crafting leave. Go out to Nine Knives.
The Black Shroud was
to deliver them out there.
The Black Shroud was like somebody was like, I want to make like a Metal Gear Solid MMO. All right, we'll just put like site aggro mobs all over the place, and you need to get past like 8 of them to get over to this Aetheryte node. And if any of them hit you once, you're dead.
Make friends with the Paladin. Just have him run ahead of you.
Well, that's what people would do. They'd sell teleports out there.
Yeah.
Because you never had to actually go to the Aetheryte before you could be teleported there.
But I think you needed the node though, I think, right? Didn't you?
For the nodes, yes. You had to go find those
nodes
for
were different.
for the Aetheryte. And then you had the nodes and you had gates. So many different things.
Right. Back in the day. I think from 1.0, I'm kind of torn between like Hamlet, because I really liked Hamlet.
I forgot about Hamlet.
Right?
Oh my God.
Well, that came in
You
so
really
much later.
liked him.
I liked Hamlet because it's something that I could do.
I hated doing it
You know,
500 times.
it's
I liked
Well,
the
that-
tutor
yeah,
with the
that-
gatherers and the
The story for
crafters.
Anima, which was amazing.
Yeah. And I think I also miss just 1.0 Corthus. Like,
Yeah.
it looked so good. The music, that is like my favorite track from 1.0 is Unspoken. I love that track.
My favorite track from 1.0 is Twilight Over Thanalan, and I'm still waiting for them to use that. Like,
Yeah.
I can't wait for that to come back.
I like
why-
that the
why
Linsa
is that
City
not
one
a
is
thing
in
yet?
Hullbreaker. Like, all I can think of when I'm
Yeah.
running Hullbreaker is Linsa now.
Well,
Yeah.
we haven't had a dungeon that a new dungeon they've introduced in the Thanalan area in a long time. Like, we've gotten love for everywhere else. So maybe we'll see something at 2.4, and that might, like they're bringing in some of those tracks. Speculation, obviously.
Yeah.
Yoshi P called me the other day, and he told me.
Yeah. I had it in. And
Right.
like,
So,
Breaking
I
news.
have to tell you, somebody tried to pull that shit in a party with me the other day. Like they like just tried to casually drop like, yeah, I know that Yoshi P is not really happy with how the hunt system turned out. I was like, oh yeah, what interview did you read that in? And he was like, one of my developer friends told me it. I was like, okay, sure, buddy, you're really impressive. You've got biggest dick here.
You have a developer friend, don't we all?
Right.
I got Yoshi P on speed dial.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
He's coming over to my house for hot dogs this Sunday.
I'll just call him up. If you win the loot on something I want, you're banned.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But yeah, also with the this 1 year anniversary website, they have an illustration countdown, which is really cool for every day leading up to the anniversary. There's a new piece of artwork, some really cool stuff. I think yesterday there was actually a piece of artwork of the Emperor of Garlemald, which is really cool. Haven't really seen him outside of artwork. There's like that artwork, and there's like a concept art picture, and that's like all we've ever seen of the guy. It's kind of weird. We also have
beard.
Yeah, and a weird, tall, funny hat thing. He's really short, too. He's like a gnome or something. We also have Tales from the Calamity. Part 1 is out now. These are stories of key figures, right, kind of during and after the Battle of Cartno, which is really cool. This first one is about Merylwib and how she got out of Cartno and stuff like that, which is cool. And I like how they came back to that nod of how people forgot like who the Warriors of Light were. Did you guys read that?
Oh, yeah.
And there was that kind of like, did you guys take care of that other unit? They're like, what other unit? And I was like, oh yeah, I remember that was a thing. Like I had totally forgotten about that plot point. It's like, oh yeah, all right. Starting August 27th, they're going to be posting messages from the developers. And then sometime during Tokyo Game Show, they're going to post the Eorzean Census, which if you've ever read the Final Fantasy XI ones, that should be pretty interesting to go through. There's a million events going on. Right now, the Moonfire Fair is running. Get yourself some yukatas and shoot some cactuses with cannons, because why not? That is going to run.
I went and I pulled up the picture we were talking about of Beardman. His throne is like a Gundam back behind him.
I would so love that boss fight. Like if he just was like,
just fight his chair.
Yeah, right. we can kill the Emperor, fine, but his chair, man, we have to stop its regen. Oh, okay. So yeah, Moonfire Fair, that'll run to September 10th. The Final Fantasy XI event is coming back, and that's August 19th to the 28th. And then we have a new event here, the Rising. This is the anniversary event. You'll be able to get a Huzzah emote, a Realm Reborn Red, which I'm assuming is a die, right? That sounds just an item that's called.
It's gotta be that.
The champagne.
Yeah.
That's right. That would make sense too. Yeah, they showed like there's little champagne bottles. Magic Prism, Meteor Survivor. So that's a firework, and then we'll get Wind Up Minfilia and Wind Up Thancred. That's from August 27th, which is the 1 year anniversary, to September 8th. And because that's not enough already, we have the Lightning Returns event, which is returning. See what I did there. September 1st through the 10th.
That's your favorite event in the whole game, right, Fusion?
God,
you
no.
love lightning.
No, I don't
Yeah,
at all.
I know.
The Dragon Quest X event is coming back September 14th. to the 23rd, which actually has a new item. None of these other events have new, or I should say, none of these other returning events have new items. But the Dragon Quest one, you'll be able to purchase a King Slime Crown.
I wish it was a pet. I really, really wish it was a pet.
Oh man, that would be so awesome.
I'm surprised it's
yes,
not.
I agree.
It's really cute. But I don't want to put it on my head. It looks dumb.
Yeah, it does look quite stupid. I'm not gonna lie. There's 2 contests going on right now too. There's the Moonfire Fair screenshot contest, and then there's also the casting call contest, where you can submit basically yourself, and take a couple screenshots and stuff, and then they'll throw you into various cutscenes in the background or something, which is kind of cool. Doing some storyline in 2.5. You're like, hey, that's me.
Hey, I'm here and over there. What? Huh?
I'm the guy that does the panic motion as they run past me up in its tunnel.
You want an autograph?
I was the guy that Shiva froze and then shattered. Oh wait.
Wah wah wah.
And also here, coming up to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of A Realm Reborn, we will have an interview with Yoshida-san, so keep an eye out for that, probably early September-ish. Should be some cool stuff in there.
There better be. Fusion X.
I'm hoping so. I mean, I asked the questions. He's the one that has to answer them. He's the one that gives me the cool stuff, so we'll see what happens. There was a little bit, too, I wanted to talk about here. Gamescom is going on right now, and our friends over at RPG Site gave us a lead on one of the questions that they asked, which I kind of was like poking. I'm like, you should probably ask this question. They asked about hunts, right? That's always been a big, lovely pile of shit topic lately. So they asked about, basically, the way that it's being done right now by people just going around killing everything, all the rewards and stuff. And what Yoshida said is that they're going to be adjusted on the 19th, which is like 2 days, and that's going to be 2.35 in that patch. The intention of the hunt was to have, each rank, B, A, and S, draw different types of players. So if you're soloing, maybe you'd go after B ranks if you have a party, A ranks, and then S would be, kind of the equivalent of like a Behemoth and Odin, where it's up and people just start shouting and getting invites and kill it. But he says because it's in a public field, it was designed without a claim system. The problem is that people decided to hunt every rank the same way, and because the tome zones also dropped, people just decided to do hunts over everything else. So in the next update here in 2.35, they're going to be adjusting them to alleviate some of the current problems. He's not going to say
vague.
How he's doing it because he doesn't want people to feel that they need to rush out and farm hunts now because of the plan changes.
It doesn't matter. People are going to hear that and go, oh, crap, we need to rush out and farm hunts.
Yeah.
They were saying that before this interview. They're like, we should rush out and do this before they cap it. Or
yeah, so I it's one of those things, like when they say that, it's going to be like, okay, they're changing something big.
A lot of people are really nervous about it. Yeah,
I would be, if especially if you're one of those people that have been doing nothing but hunts for the past month.
But how can you still have more hunts to do? But hunts.
But hunts. If you have more than one class leveled, maybe if you're trying to gear up a whole bunch of stuff, I don't know.
I did it for like 2 weeks straight, and I was starting to have like Final Fantasy XI PTSD. Like it was horrible. I couldn't even. I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that bad if you just do them sort of like casually. If you're not grinding them out all the time until your eyes bleed.
You're absolutely
You just
right.
watch for the crowd and follow the crowd and get 1 to 5 every now and then.
My problem initially is I'd come home from work and I'd just jump into a party, and then for 8 hours I would be doing nothing but running around in zones, just focusing on anything that moves. And then by the end of that, you're just exhausted. And it's funny because then you have like the people that have been doing coil, they're all salty, right? Because of the rewards. And like, yeah, you guys don't have to do any work for it. I'm like, you have no idea the amount of work you have to do. You have to like focus on running around and looking for these things for hours and hours.
Shut up.
Like I said.
No, I agree on the casual front completely. That's what we've done. Me and my friends will get on. We're doing whatever, and then it's like, oh, hey, there's this hunt. We yell, and it's like, hey, we found this monster. Anybody want to, like we give them time, and people will come, and the thing dies, and we move on. And we really like it that way. But doing it, actively with the way that everybody else is doing it, and then y'all kind of said that you have, oh my gosh, no thanks. Yes. We're on the opposite side though. All we've been doing is PV, the front lines. Okay. It's all we've been doing.
I enjoy the front lines.
I'd like it more if the Immortal Flames on the Primal Data Center didn't suck.
Oh,
I think I've won like 12 times.
Adders.
Yeah, welcome to Adders, man. We dominate.
Man.
Everyone's like, oh my god, why are we so bad? I'm like, because you're in the Immortal Flames. Like, sorry to break it to you, but we're not that good at PvP.
Oh, man. There are so many strategies that you can do with front lines, and and it's what I'm saying. Like,
everyone just got weirded out by the Raban and friggin' what's her nuts.
Crying.
They're like, I'm out of here.
Sultana?
Sorry.
She's crying because she doesn't like that justice isn't being done. And so we're going to go over here to the Tree Huggers.
I'm going to go over here to the Tree Huggers. Heck yeah.
I'm sorry. There's a lady who can catch a thrown hatchet out of the air with her fingers. I'm going to go to that one.
Like, we got boats, yo.
And let's be honest, Merlwib just scares the crap out of me.
She's so badass.
She's the most badass, but I ain't hanging out with her.
She's all badass, and then at the end of the Battle of Cartno, she just gets like hit in the head, and she's like, "All right, I'm done."
I forgot about that.
Raban probably just ran out. He's like blocking shit. He's like, "I'm out of here," and Merlwib just the head just falls down, and people have to carry her out.
She's like the Daria of Final Fantasy XIV. La 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 la.
Wow, that was so.
The one interesting thing though, kind of on the topic though, regarding Flames, is that apparently their queue times seem to be way longer than anybody else's. Yeah, and it's
I queue in pretty quick
for Flames.
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen some video and some people talking about how that. It's like they're queuing in for Flames and it takes forever. And then for me, we were at her, and so we're, we'll be on, and every 5 minutes, we're back into a new match, and we cap on Soldiery. I mean, that's just all we do. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
great system.
I will say, what I really like about it is I'll play on healer, and I will actually enjoy playing healer in PvP.
Yeah, I will say right now, there is nothing more satisfying in PvP than getting on some job with a knockback move and going up to the heliodrome and knocking people off as they climb up. That is hands down the best thing in Frontlines to do.
You're like, I don't even know if you died, but I'm thinking you did.
You get there first. This white mage from Adders or something is coming up the ramp. They're like, all right. I'm like, nah, I don't want you up here. Just knock them off.
Yeah, if you could put a dot on them before you do it,
you hit them once, and you just knock them off, and they're dead. It's so satisfying. And then I learned I've been gearing up Warrior a little bit, and Warrior gets like an AoE knockback move that you can upgrade. And I was like, oh, I just want to like go and just run into a crowd of people climbing up the bridge there and just.
What about with limit break? If obviously if you have a dragoon, you just limit break the healer right off the bat, or if you get a level 2, and you have a black mage, and you get
the caster asshole that just sits there and just like messes with the party the whole time. It's like on off. He keeps canceling it, and everyone like runs out, runs back in, runs like. God, I've seen that happen so many times. It's kind of funny.
Good.
Yeah. So hunts are being changed. We don't know why. We don't know what. So
we know why.
Well, I mean, we know why. No idea how they're going to do it.
I feel like they're not going to do anything too drastic because it's been like this for so long.
That's part of the problem too. I think
they can't. I think they're really like they've sort of locked themselves in this position. They can't change the loot table. They can't change. I don't think that they could reasonably cap seals for like over a period of time. You know what I mean? Like I feel like they've sort of like backed themselves into a corner with hunts and didn't fix it quickly enough where like anything they do to it that's drastic, people are just going to lose their fucking minds.
Yeah, I think.
And it's just people are just going to lose interest in it too. If they put a cap on seals and tomes, it's going to be like it's not even
why
worth
bother?
It anymore. Yeah, if someone shouts that an S is up, I'll run out, but no big whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I think
it's not the easy stepping stone that it's become for everybody.
Yeah. I think
it'll become the casual thing it was meant to be.
Here's the thing that I keep thinking about is, once people do start losing interest in this, and they will as as new content comes out and greater rewards come out, what is this event going to look like? 3 or 4 patches down the line.
How it was originally envisioned to be, probably.
There's just going to be a huge Garlock eating every low level that runs by him and stuff.
Well, and then that's what they should be planning for. They should be planning the event for, okay, what's it going to look like after everyone's already moved off of it, and let the community adjust. You know what I mean? I think the way that the community's been doing hunts has been fine. Calling them out and having a network of link shells and free companies that are sharing data amongst each other.
Like this in years in any game.
Yeah, totally.
I would just say that what they really should, in my opinion, they buff their hit points or whatever. No, they should make these fights epic to where they plan the fight as 80 people are going to be attacking this monster. Let's make it let's make it a fight and make it interesting.
But again, and we talked about how they should be planning it for how it's going to be when it dies down. I think when it was first out is how it would be when it's kind of died down, because it was initially planned for you'll get a group together and you'll go and find some A's and stuff. But I think what definitely they're not going to remove any items that you can currently get. What they could consider maybe is putting a weekly lockout on oils and sands. That's the biggest problem right now. Is the reason everybody's spamming it is because there is no lockout on those 2 items in this content, whereas in all the other content where it's available, there's a lockout.
It is lockout. Yeah, no, you're right. You're totally right.
That's the reason why everybody is going crazy, is because of the oils and the sands. If they limit it to what they won't remove it. There's no way they'll get rid of the option to be able to get it from this content. Idea. No,
they can't.
They could
the
throw a lockout.
community would lose their mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even to put a cap on it would be lame too. I think. I don't.
But you could still get it though. It's not saying that you can't. You just can't get a million of them each week to balance it with the other content, because now the problem is, when these things first came out, the problem was that everybody was doing hunt, and so a lot of other instances were taking a long time in Duty Finder to queue up, and now it's more people are doing it. All those people are doing it on tanking and healer jobs. So now you're sitting in Duty Finder for years waiting for healers and tanks, even longer than you were before.
Yeah. What would happen and be good is that within the content that currently locks out those sands and oils, is if they lessen that up. So you make it with the Crystal Tower, with the Circus Tower, is that you can always that last chest is always dropping it, and you can roll on that as much as you want. So just giving that continual opportunity and that chance.
There's no balance with this content. If you look right when it came out, I know I had tweeted about this a lot. Because I needed to reset my Chocobo points, and you can get the item. It's the Regan Pepper. It's 48,000 seals for Grand Company, right? Or it's 20 allied seals. How the hell is that even remotely balanced? If you want a glamour body piece, okay, it's 1,000 allied seals. If you want something to upgrade an item to 110, it's 750. Why? No.
Yeah, but at the same time, let's talk about 2.4 and beyond. Mm-hmm. Think about CT. I haven't been in CT since New Coil was added.
Right.
Labyrinth of the Ancients has got to be a bitch to queue for right now.
Yeah. So I mean, if this is the kind of game where stuff just gets expired, I guess you could call it, or whatever, where stuff is just going to die out anyway, then why change it now? Because in 2.4, if they stay on the schedule that they said they were going to stay on, it's going to be the last round of Coil, right? So then what's even the point? Because it's not going to be I-110 gear in that Coil. So you're going to just focus more.
Who does the first 5 turns of Coil anymore?
Well, exactly.
People that want glamour. Or
that's pretty much it.
And this feels weird saying it, but it's a legitimate reason to gear up your retainer.
Yes, I've heard that too.
I mean, that's,
I did some the other night.
I tried to
just
run some
for
CT to get
accessories.
some stuff. Yeah. Yep.
Not for my retainer though, for like jobs I don't ever
Right.
play.
Yeah. I mean, there's still people leveling up other jobs. There's still people that are trying to get their retainers to
Which
IE
is a good reason to
for the
do
new,
original CT too.
ventures.
The challenge they have.
Sometimes I wish I didn't play on a legacy server because I feel like the game is probably totally different in terms of the community you're playing around on those servers. Right?
No, it's very well
You guys-
possible.
you guys all
That's
play
what I've heard
Legacy?
before.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm on Legacy. I'm Sargatanis, so yeah.
I don't know if that's necessarily true. I mean, because
I think it's a
non-legacy people can join in too on the server, right? So it kind of
well, sometimes.
Yeah, it balances.
if they make their character at 2 a.m.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think only the dev team knows where it's going and how quick it's probably going to be a useless event anyway. So
is there
it
a way
doesn't have to be useless? Because and I'll let you make your point in a second.
well,
is that,
I don't want it to be useless.
no, I agree. I'm just saying that it doesn't have to be, but that's totally in the development team's hands. It's about incentivizing. Like if it,
that's
what
what I
is
was
the
gonna say.
incentive for going into doing this content? It's great content. It's a lot of fun, and I think let's just focusing on the Labyrinth of the Ancients. They need a Savage version, and we need the ability to go in with 24 people to really have some like hard content for titles or whatever. And so you want that level of difficulty increase, and then for the normal, you want to be able to, and they do that kind of with the roulette, and we'll probably see something like that be introduced where. Queue up for, and out of that, you're going to get one of these things, and then you get some ridiculously large bonus, or you get a sands of time for doing a roulette or something like that. And so by that kind of approach, that's one way that we've seen them in the past incentivize, because people still run low level.
Okay, all right. I know what you're saying now. Like if they threw even just a few allied seals in almost everything.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, no, I completely
I
agree.
Could get behind that.
The thing that baffles my mind: why the hell don't you get allied seals for Odin and Behemoth?
Why not? I know.
Right?
Great question.
Because those are
Great
so
question.
those were pretty irrelevant already when they came out, right? And we didn't have glamour. The stats weren't that great. They were only item level 55.
Or why not even get rid of allied seals altogether and change it into the Grand Company currency, just on a much higher scale.
And increase the Grand, our Grand Company ranks. We've been sitting at this one since the launch. It's been a year. Let's get some promotions going. Come on.
It's interesting. I think something else to consider too. You talked about moving to Grand Company seals. How many different types of currency do we need? I mean, we still technically have philosophy tomes in the game. No, you can't acquire them anymore, but you still have a spot for them in your UI. I can still remember one of the last times I logged into Final Fantasy XI, they had just added a spot in the UI menu where you could see all your different types of currency. It took a long ass time to scroll through that thing. I mean, how many types of currency do we really need in the game?
Well, and that's so I mentioned earlier I switched to Twin Adders, and it was a pain in the butt to get seals. Mm-hmm. Because the new dungeons, what am I going to do? Loot all this gear from people that want it? You know what I mean? To use it, just so I can turn it into seals. That's kind of lame. I don't want to be that guy. That's usually what I do.
I'll need anything I can in dungeons, and I'll turn it into seals.
But that, or I could fake grind for Alex also, or in Spirit Bond. But why? That would be such a good use of Grand Company seals, because it would make people do more.
Mm-hmm.
Than just.
Well, and I think Square Enix initially wanted to push people towards the hunt content because they didn't know if it was going to be strong enough content to stand on its own. And so
let's be real too. Last time they added CT, it was why did they put this in with I-80 gear? Because now I'm bored.
I totally agree. And there was one of the questions from the live letter that happened the other day that asked about that. And Yoshi P's response was that because I think the question was, can we put unidentified tomestones and oils into a separate loot pool from the glamour gear that you're getting out of Circus Tower? And he said that both items are meant to be upgrades, as in the glamour gear that you're getting out of Circus Tower is meant to be an item upgrade. Are you kidding? At this point,
some of it is better than the stuff that's weathered, stat wise, because they're the same.
But
But
we're
they
all
added
past.
in a
We're
way
past
to get
weather.
sand, so
not
Yeah.
everybody.
We're not
is,
all past though. No, maybe
This-
we are, but people who
I had
started.
to-
and
I
playing-
again,
wonder.
retainers.
I'm
Those
sorry,
retainers.
hunts have a low enough bar of entry that I can safely say that as a community we're pretty much past weathered. On your main class, you're pretty much past weathered. Okay, so but the point that the question was making, I think, is accurate. That people will go into Circus Tower and it's a loot after piece of loot after piece of loot after piece of loot hitting the floor, and
That is
everyone's rolling after the tomestones or the oils. And I think to just say, well, both of those are item enhancements is kind of a cop out. I didn't think it was a real answer, and it was I don't like the idea. I think that they could have
I'm
separated the
personally
loot
using
pool.
Circus Tower to gear up my healer because I don't really like to play healer, but I end up playing it a fair amount, and I don't want to like use my actual points I want to use on jobs I like on it. So I'll pick up some random piece from Circus Tower because it's a decent piece, but it's not something I had to waste the points I actually want on.
It's like I've been getting into playing warrior a little bit, and the warrior feat that drop from Circus Tower, they have crit and determination on them,
Oh,
which for
everyone
me,
cut out
who's
for me
not
for
a
a second. I don't
for not
know
a
if you
tank,
guys-
like if I want to, I'm not gearing up like as like hardcore tank. I'm like, kind of tank that also does, maybe focused on damage a little more, since I'm really only using it for like hunts at this point. So if I can get a tank piece that has strength, determination, and crit, like hell yeah, like that's exactly what I want. And so for stuff like that, it's absolutely, and it's the same problem we had with the first CT, right? Like there would be pieces that, just weren't comparable to anything, and then there was always like that one or two items that everybody wanted, right? And it's the same thing now with Circus Tower, where it's everybody wants this item and this item, or like the Amon hat just because it looks goofy as hell, like.
But I'm not sure. I'm not sure that we're entirely there yet as a community. And I'm talking about like selecting pieces for different specific gear stats. We're starting to get there, but it seems like the main focus is push your eye level, push your eye level, push your eye level, push your eye level, and
Those
that's
people are stupid.
Oh no, I totally agree. and
Everyone's
there
focused on that number and not all the 20 other numbers in that window there.
Yeah. No. I totally agree. It's pretty short-sighted, but until we get to the point where people are, kind of min-maxing like that with their gear stats, I'm not sure that provides a big enough incentive for people to, grind for those warrior feat. You know what I mean?
Right. The problem that there's actually another fundamental issue that drives that eye level is because right now the eye level is something that is tangible. People can easily look at one number and say, okay, yeah, this looks like an improvement. And they need to update the UI. They need to improve that so that, just regular users, can sit here and say, okay, yeah, this gives me 3 more strength. Oh, but I don't get as much of this.
But
and so
things that
kinda
are the
gives
same
that
eye
tangible.
level across the board on a body piece, for example, say you have 23 strength on one eye level 7 body piece, you have 23 strength on the other eye level 7 body piece.
It's those other stats.
Those other stats.
You always get like your primary stat and then vitality, and then the other two are what you want to look at. Like the Dragoon stuff that came out for Soldiery. First, it all looks like crap. I hate how it looks. And then second, it's all skill speed. I don't want skill speed. I don't get like the hands are like the best one because you get again determination and crit. Those are like the best pieces if you're a DD. And then everything else is skill speed. And, it's like no, I don't need that. Why would I want that?
Well, like going back to Circus Tower, I do it because I can get something basically free from it for the week. I don't need oils anymore. I don't need tomes anymore. I don't need those things. So I'm like, okay, random piece of healer gear. Cool. My healer's a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, it's right now. It's good for those. If you're one of those people that are looking at stats and not just item level, it's for those players, and it's for those players that like me. I have almost everything at 50 at this point. I don't have. I don't play all of it, but I'd like to have it geared for, if I want to use it. Mm-hmm. And so, what I'll do if I'm going into Circus for the week, I'll say, okay, if I'm not going for like the tombstone, I'll look at the jobs that I have. I'll see what their gear is like. And I'll say, okay, if this is, what can I get that would be, a solid improvement? And then those are the pieces that I'll try and go for that week. I've never actually gone after anything in there for glamour.
The fundamental kind of thing that kind of drives back from when 2.0 launched and 2.1 is that 2.0 was supposed to have Crystal Tower in that first patch, would lead us into, and it seems like whether it's this way or not, but it does give them the impression that because of that, the Crystal Tower, which is meant to be that gap between whatever the highest level, has been that, kind of that off.
It kind of threw the whole thing off, yeah.
Yeah,
I think we agreed at the time, though, that even though for our main jobs, we were all kind of like, what is the point of this? Like, across the entire community, we were like, what is the point of this? You are late. Mm-hmm. We started to get in there, and, maybe 4 times then it was still fun, and you got a piece of gear here or there, and it was good for a second job.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
yeah,
I'm not sure.
Of the multi-class system. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I'm not sure that Circus Tower holds that same sort of sway that Labyrinth of the Ancients did. At least for me personally.
The fights are better, and the environment is amazing. Yeah,
I think the instance is way better. I think I'm at a point in the game where I just don't really care about what drops out of there as much. I don't think, and because of the high competition on tomestones and and oils, I haven't actually gotten a piece out of Circus Tower at all. So because that's how little I run it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we were talking earlier about just front lines. Is that we were like, well, what are we going to do? Well, let's run front lines because it's it's quick and it's fun, and we're not only getting tomestones and soldiery, but we're also getting PvP and wolf marks, and so the rewards essentially out justify the content. So we ran it a couple of times, enjoyed the story, but I haven't been back to Circus in 3 or 4 weeks now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I guess it just really depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And I think, a lot of things too, starting off, especially earlier on, a lot of people are still kind of playing around with all the classes. They're, figuring out what they like, what they want to play. And now people are much more focused on, okay, I'm going to gear this job and this job. And so, if they're only gearing like those 2 jobs, then yeah, they're going to be, up higher in the item level and stuff like that. And so, content like Circus isn't going to be as big of a deal. But for people that are still experimenting, being able to go in and just, get a piece like that is nice to be able to do.
What's going to really make a lot of this content really relevant, and depending on what kind of adjustments they make, will be interesting. But with the Rogue and Ninja coming into play, we're going to see a lot of people playing that, gearing that up, and then wanting to go into that content. If you wanted to
ever level a tank or a healer, 2.4 is the time to do it.
Yeah,
you'll make so much money, and you'll insta queue. It's going to be you're good, but you're going to be insta queuing with. It'll be tank, healer, ninja, tank, healer, ninja. That's what it's going to be like. All right, I hope Ninja can do some AoE,
Part of me kind of wants to see like a frontline instance happen where the whole team is just Ninja and they just like invisible and they just run around and like nobody ever sees like. Yeah. Has anybody seen anybody from the Flames in this match yet?
How are they getting points?
Are they here?
What's going on?
They'll just like spawn at the Adder's like outpost and everyone's like, oh shit.
I was talking with some buddies of mine, and we're like, all right, so while we're leveling Rogue, we should all just throw cure on our bars, and we could just all go in 4 rogues and cure each other as we go. That way we don't even have to deal with tanks and healers.
There you go. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting time to see how that happens. Because at least with launch, right, we had like Arcanist, but we also had a whole bunch of new players coming in, and now it's just like everybody already has everything else leveled. So,
yeah. That's why I think. Yeah, that's why I hope with the expansion that they at least release, 3 classes, 1 fitting each role, because of that. Because it's like, people are going to want to play, a tank, a healer, and a DPS, and if you throw that out there in that kind of set of 3, I think that's going to kind of help balance it out. But what we, we're so kind of. The thing is, like, people are like, why aren't people playing tanks? And it's like, I've got both my tanks at level 50. I will play if I feel like doing a dungeon. Otherwise I'm going to be playing on something else.
Yeah.
So that's
and I think it'll be interesting too to see, because we know Rogue is coming in 2.4. Are we getting 2 then with the expansion? Are we getting 3? What do we? I mean, obviously we got to get another tank and another healer, right?
Yeah, and he said that. We already know that's happening. Now, what that will look like, I don't know.
I think I'm thinking Musketeer is going to be the healer, and something else is going to be a tank.
I could see them do
Shoot you
Musketeer
back
as a
to
tank.
life.
I've played a little bit of Old Republic back at launch, and I was you can spec your bounty hunter to actually like cure people by shooting them. Like you can do like a medic branch, and so yeah, I mean it's not completely out there, right? And he even said like it's going to be something that you're not expecting. I wouldn't expect somebody to cure me with bullets. So all right.
Well, the thing I would say if we were looking at the Final Fantasy lore is that Musketeer could easily become an engineer. And, engineer could have, a pet or some kind of, things that they do, like put down, trap-based healing or things like that. Like stand in this area and.
I remember when Arcanus was supposed to be trap-based back in the day when they had those giant like staff things. I don't know what they were. They were weird. It was like a steampunk version of like the water gun thing from like Mario Sunshine or something. I don't know what it was supposed to be. It was weird looking, but I remember that because it's like yeah, they have books now. Oh, so okay, sure. From weird staff things to books. That sounds simpler.
Makes sense
with that. Yeah. All right, so that's hunts and miscellaneous tangents. It's always good to
many.
Yeah. I told you we find ways to work random stuff in here.
We're a conversational podcast.
We'll take 2 seconds here for those that have tuned in halfway. Welcome. We are having a giveaway. If you go to gamerscape.com/AR5, you can enter for a chance to win some PAX posters, bags, and shirts. So go ahead and fill out that form and win some stuff. Next up here, we'll go into bragging rights. We put this up at the beginning of the week, asking people what their biggest achievements were for the first entire year of A Realm Reborn. First here we have Zotig. People with the X in the front of their name, I have no idea.
Hey.
Xotig.
Hey.
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 Well, at least, yours makes a little more sense. I don't know. But this is Zofia Braxish from Balmung. Completed the story and made it to endgame for the first time ever in any MMO that he's played. Was able to do Garuda X and through his first duty finder for the fight after trying for months with Party Finder, and got his Black Mage to eye level 100. So that's pretty big. I still haven't even hit 100 on any of my jobs yet. So I have like 3 at 96.
What?
Get in there, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I don't have one at 100 because I have 3 at 96. Next up here we have Yusir Mario from Gilgamesh. Came back after 5 months. Originally had no intention to, but popped in to see the current state of things. The way when he left, the market board was useless. That's kind of like his one gripe.
God bless you.
Nice. I'm gonna have to do a lot of editing in this episode. Their one gripe is the market board. Not a fan of the player economy, but now that they're back, the economy's been gotten a little bit better. And the game is everything that they were looking for, and I can finally feel what I felt when playing Final Fantasy XI. Alistair Crawley from Diabolos, Titan Hard Mode, Titan EX, and Turn 5. All jobs except for Fisher at 44 are at 50, and he's gotten his Anima for... he's gotten his Novus for his Stardust Rod for Black Mage there, and he's going to FanFest. It's a big, important thing. FanFest is going to be so cool. I'm so excited.
Oh, man, that's going to be a blast.
I've started having dreams about FanFest. Which is, I don't know, is that weird?
No, I had dreams in 1.0 about what they were talking about with 2.0, and I was like, there are going to be quests, and there's going to be bosses, and it's going to be amazing.
I had a dream, and this is probably going to be creepy, but whatever. I was sitting like in this hall, and they revealed Triple Triad. And for some reason, I'm sitting next to Hivinen, or I'm sitting next to Robert Peeler, and I just like turn and I just hug him because I was so excited. And I'm like, wake up, and I'm like, that was really weird. Like, I don't know, dreams, man.
Fusion, I got to tell you, that wasn't a dream.
Yeah. I get a text from him. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? Why didn't you call me after this?
Why'd you call after that hug? That hug, it was like, it meant a lot to me.
Vivi Taru. Beat Titan Hard Mode. That felt like the biggest accomplishment at the time, even though everyone's breezing through it now. Yeah, Titan Hard Mode, man. Titan Hard Mode is...
it's all right. You did good.
I still have problems with Extreme. It sucks because that's been sitting on my little quest tracker on my screen. Like, if I had like an old like CRT that I just left on all the time, that would be burned into my screen. It's like, you need to fight Titan Extreme. Like, one of these days, maybe. Oh, I really want to be able to hide that. That'd be great if I can hide all those quests. And last year we have...
Turn it off.
Yeah. We have Fahrenheit Desalier from Behemoth. I, as part of my awesome free company, 404 Killed Not Found. That's awesome. Got to be part of numerous free company hosted events over the year that have given out hundreds of dollars in prizes. And even attended by so many players that there was a calling on level with the Behemoth and Odin fights. We got regarded from time to time like server celebrities. It's not much, but I am proud. That's pretty cool. I think that's the group that did the Behemoth, the Beach Bash, or I forget what the title was, but yeah, they had an event over at Costa del Sol last month before, a player run event. Those are always really cool to see. So those are the submitted bragging rights that we have. Now we're going to talk about what we've done in the past year. And I don't know. Chinny, you back?
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Yay!
So what have you accomplished in the first year of A Realm Reborn?
Accomplished?
What are some of the highlights of this past year? If Facebook were to like automatically make some kind of like little slideshow video, what would be in it?
I don't know, all of it, man. I really had fun playing this game. I was worried I wasn't gonna like it at first, but
Is there any big things that stand out?
Not really. I mean, I've just been enjoying the game.
Right.
Vision, Extreme Primals were really fun when they first started showing up. That's about it, man. I mean, nothing major.
All right, that's okay. Just been enjoying the game. It's a good game.
Yeah, that's why we're here.
Right? We all hate the game. We think it's bad, so it's gonna 5
Shut
years
it
of
down.
talking crap about
Blow
it.
up the servers.
We're not going to stop this podcast until this game is done.
We used to make that joke on PFA all the time. Until the servers go down, and then we'll do 2 more.
And then we just got bored.
Yeah. Also, make sure to check out our new Final Fantasy XI podcast, Pet Food Beta. I think they actually recorded today, so we'll have a new one of those out soon.
That's a good show. Like, just going to plug it.
Yeah.
I really enjoy
They do a
listening
good job.
to it.
I mean, minus the fact that Joe's in it.
That's why I don't listen to it. I remember hearing something about it. Why haven't I been? Oh yeah.
Joe. Yeah.
Poor Joe.
Aniro, what about you? What are some of the highlights from this past year for you?
Let's see. In this past year, oh gosh, I got my Animus weapon. Let's see. What am I rocking? I-102.
Wow. I feel so behind compared to everybody else.
What's my Dragoon at? My Dragoon is at I-94, so that's pretty good.
I was gonna cry if it was higher than mine. I was getting ready.
Yeah, my secondary, thirdary class is better than your first.
Yeah. Let's be real. It's Dragoon, so neither of you are better than the other. So.
Ouch.
Oh.
I
Whoa.
mean, if you can dodge. If you can
Whoa.
dodge a wrench. You can a Titan.
Sometimes.
I always think of Dragon Ball Z abridged, when Piccolo screams "Dodge!"
Yeah.
Let's see. What else? I don't know. I just kind of broke into doing second coil the past couple of weeks. So that's been a challenge.
I've attempted second coil.
Yeah, turn 6 is fun, isn't it?
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It is crazy, but we've gotten it down to, I want to say like 20%. Into the
last phase, and it's just like something always happens, right? It's like if it's almost like remember like the Diablos fight in 11. It's like it's going well, and then something just happens, and it just feels like it just doesn't want you to beat it.
It's that little bit of RNG that they've added to the fights, which I like. I like that they've done that, but I also don't
like it for a couple hours. Anything over 2, and you start to get a little frustrated with it.
It's
wait,
one of those.
Wait till you get to turn 7. You'll love that.
Oh yeah.
I know more statics that broke over turn 7 than I do people that play the game.
I'm a weirdo. I really like turn 7.
No, so do I, but it's just I don't like the other people.
All right.
Ever.
It's just everybody else, right?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, Fusion.
When I saw
for how long? Obviously, everyone else.
It's like when I wore my Titan shirt to E3, and she was like, "Why don't you have a Leviathan one yet?" And I'm like, "Well, I went and I did it, and I was all right, but it was the rest of my party that died."
He knew.
Yeah.
He knows all.
So I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't get enough time to really bash my head into the game like I would like. But what are you gonna?
You're just missing hunts. It's all right. Nothing big.
I'm the hell I am. I'm doing hunts right now.
Whoa!
Multitasking for the win.
There's an S rank up. I'm gonna go kill it if it'll load. Why won't they address the mob loading?
They did.
Thing?
They did.
They did, but it's still broken.
Yeah,
it's still broken.
They increased HP and they gave S ranks loading priority.
Yeah, well, it's still broken.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. I was so pissed. I had an S rank pop on my server, like literally right as I was going to turn off my monitor to go to work. They're like S rank. I'm like, damn it! Like, can't do it. Sorry. I'd probably get like 12 seals anyway.
Or one.
Or one.
Yeah.
I've actually never seen this S rank before. Zona Seeker.
Ooh.
I've seen most.
Killed a ladybug yesterday and got one whole seal.
Oh boy, that was my first null kill. Even and I had the bill too, the elite mark bill for that week was null, and I killed it, and it didn't give me the credit for the bill, and I got a red seal. I was like, awesome! I love this new content. Good job, guys.
It's terrible. It's terrible, but I love all the terrible null jokes.
Yes, I love it. My favorite is, and I've tweeted this a couple times. A little picture that says Tylenol for those extra long sessions.
Wow,
it's really great because people will be absolutely just tearing each other a new one for no stupid reason over this hunt crap, and you're like, guys, it's not cool, and then everything's fine.
No, hell no, guys, just calm down. And
I saw people trying to do it over non, and I'm like, it's not as funny as null.
Oh, man.
Just stop, guys. Just stop.
Yeah.
It was funny last week. Now you're just beating it to the ground.
Horses long died.
But here's
Make a horse mask.
Here's a pro tip for hunting S ranks. If there's like a tank nearby you, target the tank, and then you can see that the tank is targeting the mob. So you should be able to click on the mob after that.
Hit T.
There you go.
Yep. Just little things you don't think of.
Yeah.
Yep.
The more you know.
All right. My turn.
It is your turn. Zanidra, what have you done this year?
All of my jobs are 50, but Fisher, because I don't want to sit there and do nothing.
Chin hates you so much right now.
Dude.
That's all she does is fish. I'll be sitting in game, and she's like, "Dude, fire weather, go, fish." I'm like, all right.
Actually, I call it fire weather.
Fire weather.
Get on my level, Fusion X.
I still, yeah. Anyway, no.
I'll probably just go buy all the fish and turn them in and get to 50 that way.
Well, there was what did you get the other day, Chin?
Oh yeah,
the hat. She's like, I got this thing. And it was kind of funny because people in the link shell was like, oh, that's cool. And I'm looking at it. I was like, holy crap! I think that's server first because none had been on the market yet.
It was.
It's me and Chin were the only people that got what the big deal was, and everyone's just like, all right.
I was like, whatever. This hat's awesome. I tried to sell it for 2 weeks, and then I was like, I'm just gonna glamour it. And
there you go.
So no one wanted to pay 20 mil for a hat.
Go figure.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
Especially not with housing
why.
coming up. I'm not the only one that's just sitting on their money.
No, certainly not.
Yeah, but I'm trying to make money for a house.
Yeah.
I don't remember why, but I started a second character in That's 50 also. Not in everything though. So that's not quite as crazy. I finished my Novus for my bard, so I have a big shiny bow.
Nice.
I got the Novus book. I probably should have said that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
She has her Novus too. My bard is I-107.
Wow.
And my team is currently in the middle of trying to beat some turn 9.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Apparently, I hear through the grapevine that Nika just downed turn 9 this past week. So.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
Cool. Yeah, I still remember the first screenshots that came out after the patch, like when the boss was out, and everyone was like, "Oh my god!"
Well, everyone knew the boss because that dude got the fragment from his retainer.
No, that's true. That? Yeah, that was well. We knew that was an item. We saw him in the trailer, right, for the patch 2. You get a quick glimpse of it. Of course, then you find out that he's actually a girl, which was
spoilers.
Me and our lore guy were like freaking out. We're like, what the hell?
Where am I?
What is going on? I'm like, emailing Koji. I'm like, dude, like what?
What's happening?
So my biggest achievement for this year is being unspoiled by everybody talking about this crap. Like, if you say anything spoilery in front of me, I will punch you in the dick through the internet. You will feel it.
Oh.
Wow.
Louis Swat kills Dumbledore.
No! Use the Force, Harry.
God. Oh, man. All right. Bryn, how about you?
Well, I mean, obviously, just we've been given our updates throughout the year, so pretty much to wrap up where I'm at now, I got an I-100 Paladin. Really liking that. Since the last we spoke, so over this past month, I got Weaver, Armor, and Goldsmith to 50, so all I have left is Blacksmith, Alchemist, and Culinarian, and that will complete all my crafts. And those are at 30. I mean, so it's not like I'm starting those from scratch, so I got everything at 30. I'm not counting Culinarian as a craft. I'm just kind of putting it over there in the corner. So I'm going to get Blacksmith. And yeah,
starve. Starve.
I don't have to. My wife is a 50 Culinarian, so I was like,
well,
she just makes me whatever I need. I'm like, I really have no motivation to level this. I guess at some point I'll do it for the achievement.
Get in the free company house and make me a sandwich.
Please.
I'll give you the ingredients.
So obviously, I've cleared the story all the way up to the latest patch. Loved it, every minute of it. I really enjoyed what they've done. So then I got my room in my free company house. I put a bed in it and I haven't been back. I was like, nice. I feel like sending 300K. Yay. And so
that is an expensive bed, sir.
There's just like an empty room and a rusty bucket in the middle.
Something like that, yeah.
Look what I got, guys.
It's more of my room. Cell.
But I didn't put it on here. But I've really been into gardening. We only have a small plot, so I can only have one bed. But I'm hoping that what they said about being able to bring gardening into pots and different things like that will pan out to be true, because that would be very exciting.
I've been like monopolizing my free company's garden, and then we started getting a whole bunch of other people.
I've got stuff growing all the time.
Well, it's bad, right? Because we have a small house, and so we only have the one garden. And then there was some drama with some link shells and stuff. So we got a whole bunch of other people. And one day someone's like, "Hey, can I like get a couple of the spots in the garden?" And I was like, "I don't know." I'm like, all right,
that's probably not gonna be a thing.
I'm like, all right, I'll go halfsies. But yeah, man, I've been doing. I got a bunch of like mandies. I actually got an onion planting right now.
Nice.
So yeah, it's good stuff. So is that it for you, Brent?
Oh, I thought this was yours now.
Oh, was it?
A bunch of garden.
Gardening, yeah. That's like out of the whole year, totally grew me like a king tomato minion. It's totally the highlight of the entire year.
Obviously.
And the answer, yes, that wasn't me.
And the eggplant night, and I think I've grown everything except for the queen. I haven't gotten the seed for the queen yet. But I think for me, relics, especially coming out of 1.0, for me, just getting that first relic was such a big deal. And now I'm like, I just totally like gave up on it because like Novus and Materia costs. I just got a Liberator like the other day, so I'm like, Gable can just sit over here for a while. If I get bored, maybe I'll go back.
I feel like those weapons are still such a waste of soldiery, right?
Well, and see, it depends. It depends on if you're, getting to turn 9, right?
Well,
or if you have the money.
My group just started turn 9, probably a few weeks ago, but now all of a sudden people can't log on. But that's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
So I just got I go to my static on White Mage, but I'm a scholar for like everything else I do. So I ended up getting like a Yag Rush, and I'm like, I can't believe I'm throwing 1,300 seals away on this weapon for White Mage.
Just really, it depends on if you need the soldiery for anything else. Like, I bought a Yag Rush, even though I don't really ever play that, because I don't need the soldiery for anything else at this point.
Right, yeah. I mean, I'm just kind of casually, like, I play Dragoon, I play Bard, I play Summoner, so I'm just kind of, every so often I'll, one for this, one for that. That's why I have 3 things at 96 and nothing over 100 yet. If I dumped all that into one job, then, definitely, but...
Yeah, you would have hit it a long time ago.
Oh, yeah. But I have almost everything to 50. I've got all my gathering and crafting classes to 50. Thanks, Guild Leaves. It's like if you're ever sitting on 99 leaves,
use
like,
them.
My first, I should say technically my second, but it was the first job I leveled solely on leaves was Culinarian. I had 99, and my Culinarian was like 7 or something, something stupid low. That in a day, just by buying the stuff and turning it in, I leveled Culinarian all the way to 50, and I only spent probably about 30K.
After all the money you made from doing the levels.
Yeah.
Like
From that point on, I'm like, I think I'm just gonna, I'll let my steals build up, and then I'll just, all of them, because why not, right?
Yep.
Got a free company house, which is really cool. After I left my last free company, I got into one with some friends, and I was like, we should buy a house, and like none of them were really like, yeah. They're like, all right, whatever. And so we ended up getting a house, which was cool. And I got
what zone did you pick for your house?
We are in the Goblet.
Oh, of course you are.
Which I'm an old dog guy. Like, I have the old dog, like, rite of passage framed above my computer here.
Yeah, I don't care.
Always gonna be old dog. But also got my Chocobo to rank 10. So
oh, nice.
So Butt Stallion's got his Dragoon barding.
Nice.
So pretty excited.
Butt Stallion.
Butt Stallion.
All right.
Props if you get the reference, and if you don't, you probably just think I'm like the weirdest person ever, which is fine.
That's me. I think you're freaking.
And that is it for me. So that'll do it for our bragging rights. And before we close out here, I did want to give you guys a little update for the wiki. We've been doing Wiki Wednesdays. A couple weeks ago, we did one talking about how to edit drop rates, and then we got some feedback right after that and completely redid drop rates. So now it's a lot easier to submit drop rates for chests and boss chests. Just go to the dungeon. You'll see a table. You can just click on what drops, hit submit. It'll throw it in a nice pie chart and give you percentages and everything like that. So whenever you're running the dungeon, just bring up the page and submit your data. Super easy to do. So yeah.
I've been using the wiki a lot lately, trying to get these like big fish, because it'll be like a fishing hole. I don't know where it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even if I just type into Google like the Juggernaut FFXI, it goes to the Gamerscape wiki page, which is awesome. I'm
hoping you're typing in FFXIV.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Because I'm like you might get a Juggernaut fish, but it's like, wow, Yatunga Jungle. How do I get there?
No.
Is that in Lower Lenosia?
I hope not.
Yeah. It's past all the level 70 boars.
No.
And that will close us out here. Did anyone want to throw something else in here before we outro?
Yay, 1 year / 5 years.
Well, it's going to be it'll be a fun show come 6 years from now. From next year where it'll be the 6th year, and we should.
I was gonna say what?
Yeah, I was like, wait.
Time skip. No, so it's like with the going into FanFest, learning more about the expansion. I mean, we've got another, I think, amazingly exciting year ahead of us.
Oh yeah.
So stoked for FanFest.
Well, even just the next few months is going to be crazy.
I like live and breathe for FanFest. Like after the first one, I'm like, this is my calling. Like I love. I'm so excited. It's gonna be so much fun.
Heck yeah.
So much fun.
If I win $1 billion on my trip, I'll just come back.
There you go.
And crash, because I don't have a ticket. The OJP, let me in!
I think they said there's going to be a very limited amount at the door.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
But that's like if you already live there kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
It's like I live in like New York, and I'm just going to fly to Vegas on a whim that maybe I can get a ticket.
Yeah.
Probably not going to happen. But yeah, for anybody in the Vegas area that hasn't gotten a ticket, absolutely try and get into that if you can. You know, if you're already going, then hope to see you there. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So there you go. And so at this time too, we're gonna go ahead and close the submissions for our 5-year giveaway here. And I realized I totally just forgot to mention we had another prize in here that I just blanked on for some reason. We do have a 60-day game time card that was given to us courtesy of the Twitter account FFXIV Party Finders. So big shout out to them. And the way we're going to give that one away is we're actually going to include the code. They'll go ahead and email you the code from the people that are selected to win the prizes that we already had. One of those people will be randomly selected to also get a game time card. So good luck to nice little extra gift in there for you guys. So
yeah.
Keep an eye on that. We will contact winners here in the next couple of days. I got a lot of personal stuff going on right after this, so we will get into contact with you. We'll get everything squared off and sent out by next week here. So keep an eye out for that. If you did submit an entry, whitelist me, FusionXGamerscape.com. Otherwise, you won't get a prize. And then next week you'll be going through your spam and you'll be like, oh man.
Oh, where's my prize?
I've had that happen before, 3 weeks later after a contest. Someone's like, oh, yeah, here's my info. I'm like, dude, sorry. But, yeah, so keep an eye on your email. And that will do it for our 5th-year anniversary show for Aetheryte Radio. If you'd like to get into contact with us, there's a couple ways you can do that. You can email us, aetheryteradio@gamerescape.com. You can also tweet at us, at Aetheryte Radio. Questions, comments, concerns, whatever you want, throw them our way. You can also find us on Twitter. A couple of us. Bryn, what are you at?
I'm at Del Monte B, and if you guys want to know how to spell it, similar to the banana, but it's also in the chat.
Similar to the banana. It's DELMONTYB. I'm at Raffledurg, RFLDRG. No, Nero, you have a couple, I think, right? What do you?
Yeah, at Limit Break Radio, if you want information about Limit Break Radio, if you want to find out when we have new episodes or what we're going to be doing on the show. And then my private one, my personal one is at LBR Nero, but I don't use that a whole lot.
Yeah.
So just
I know a couple of people, they have a couple and they use one more than the other, and every so often you're like, what's that icon? Oh, right. Yeah, it's that guy.
Yeah.
Also, if you want, we are on iTunes. If you want to leave us some iTunes reviews, let people know what you think of the show, and that'll do it. I know LBR has some cool stuff coming up. You want to plug that here?
Really tomorrow
cool
you can
Yes.
you can tune
listen to
in
this. He's
tomorrow.
got good stuff.
Tune in tomorrow, twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio. We're going to be interviewing the incomparable Susan Calloway, who is the vocalist responsible for Answers, as well as a noted performer with Distant Worlds. So she's going to be on the program. You can catch that tomorrow starting at 3 o'clock.
That's awesome.
3 o'clock.
I'll be there.
Twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio and limitbreakradio.com. Very cool.
So make sure to check that out. We'll have this up to download probably Monday-ish. So tell your friends and everything. Thanks to everybody who tuned in today, who's been tuning in for the last freaking, holy cow, 5 years. That's crazy. Thank you so much for your support. And thanks for supporting us, the site, the podcast, everything. And it is greatly appreciated. And we'll see you next time. Take care.
Take care.